Hello, hello, hello. Okay, the microphone is hot. Where is everybody? You're here. You're here. I didn't go to the right thing, didn't I? No. Yep. Yes, they were in. But they're not in. See me? That's me talking, so they should be able to hear me. And these are the people. Here's Summer. Hi, Summer. See if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Nobody wants to see my email. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Let's try calling in as well, just to make sure. Let's see.
Welcome to the CCC Confer Conference Center. For security verification, please enter your passcode followed by the pound or hash key.
Hello, 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 hello.
Please hold while I confirm your passcode. Thank you for joining Global Meet. Please. When you hear the tone, you will be the fourth person to join the meeting.
How about now? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you guys.
We are recording. Okay, everyone, we're recording now so that those who are not able to attend today can hopefully log into the CCC Confer website later on and log in and watch some of the demonstrations here. So I'm logged in right now as a data steward, which is a status in eLumen that most people don't have. It does allow me to make system-wide changes, but today all the work we're going to be doing is that of a program coordinator. What actually is now called a department coordinator. Recently eLumen made the switch and changed over. So I'm going to log in as a department coordinator, and that'll provide me the list of drop-downs for all the programs that I am responsible for or I have purview over. I just want to do a quick check-in and see that those of you, Somer, if you can hear me. I know you are at home and have some other responsibilities you're working on, but if you can hear me, please reply in the chat box down in the bottom left of your screen. If not, we'll just go ahead and record this so people can watch it later. So there wasn't really a full agenda or a planned agenda for this demonstration. It was more intended to allow those of you who wanted to attend to ask specific questions about how to do things in eLumen. I can show a few basic things, if you like, that if you find them helpful as a review. All right. So adding SLOs, for example, if you do find that you want to add SLOs to your program, once you are in the discipline that you want to add SLOs for, I'm looking for our sample. Here's our sample discipline. As a department coordinator, you can add SLOs. Oh, great. Thanks, Somer. I'm glad you can hear us. Okay. As a faculty member, I don't believe you can add SLOs, so let's change over to faculty real quick and we'll verify that. Of course, faculty members who want to take initiative and they want to be involved may try to add SLOs, but you can see from the faculty perspective that they will not have the add button to add SLOs, and only the program coordinator will have that authority to do so. So going back in as a department coordinator, again, I'm sorry if I say department coordinator, program coordinator, they're the same thing. Going back into our sample discipline, find it. Where is it? Where is it? I'm sure you can see it, but I can't. There we go. And then to add a new SLO, I'm going to click on SLOs and assessment. I have a button to add a CSLO. So I've decided that I need to add a new CSLO to my eLumen 101 class. So I click on Add CSLO, and then I can provide the SLO that I've agreed upon with the faculty. This is a new screen. Exciting.
Randy, it's Jason.
Wasn't expecting this. I have no idea what this screen is. How wonderful. It looks like eLumen has done some updates, and they have
Randy,
not
can you hear us?
indicated, or at least I have not attended the training yet. It looks like all they're asking is to know what is the initial term that this SLO will be used for. So let me pause here for a moment. It looks like this screen that I was brought to gives me the name of the SLO that I just created, and then what will be the first term, the initial term, when I will collect data on that SLO. So I think that's what that's about. But again, that's a very, very brand new feature. I wasn't even aware of it yet. So then I can click Create SLO, and it'll return me back to my SLO, my list of SLOs. I can then work with this SLO. I can remove it if I wish, as long as there's no data associated with it. I can edit it. I can go in and make grammatical changes if necessary. If I decide that I'm making a brand new SLO, I don't want to edit an existing SLO. However, I want to add it instead. And there is a brand new feature here, the new version, that is brand new by a couple of weeks, and we're not really fully sure what it's going to do yet. But it is a versioning system so that we can change an SLO but keep track of the former version of the SLO and all the assessments and data collected associated with it. From this screen, I can create an assessment box to put information into, and we've been through this process before. Can go through it again if you guys would like to. Okay. And also from the Add CSLO or the CSLO screen, I can add a rubric, what we also call performance descriptors, specifically for this SLO. I can add that information in these different boxes, and this will be useful when you create an assessment box for this 5-item scale. So if I say my 5-item rubric went so good, okay, not so hot, rotten.
Where are you going? Does the excellent be by 0 or does the excellent?
I have them backwards. You're right. I do have them backwards.
Randy, can you hear us?
Let's see.
Randy.
Not so hot. Okay. Good to go. Excellent. All right.
Randy.
No. Hold on.
I don't think they can hear us.
Randy. Yeah, I don't think he can hear us either.
Chat with me said no.
Can you see the screen? I just see congratulations.
Yeah, that's all I have on the screen too.
Hold on, everyone. I'm just going to make sure that you guys can hear your audio. In the meantime, if you have questions, please.
I also texted Randy on his phone to see if he gets
If you have questions, please type them in the chat window while I get the audio so that I can hear you up and running. It's only take just a minute.
I don't know how to get out of that congratulations screen.
Welcome to the CCC Confer Conference Center. For security verification, please enter your passcode followed by the pound or hash key. Please hold while I confirm your passcode.
Okay, we're getting the audio set up.
Joining Global Meet. Please wait for the tone. Then say your name and press the pound or hash.
Everybody, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
We've been able to hear you. Can you hear us? Okay, I can hear you. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. We'll just go from here. Right now you should be looking at the screen, and I was attempting to create descriptors for a particular SLO, and these descriptors would be useful for us when we build our assessment boxes. So is everybody okay for right now?
No, we can't. We can't see anything but the word congratulations. That screen.
Randy, this is Summer. I can see the screen that you're on where you're creating the rubric.
Okay, so Summer can see it, but Julie, you cannot?
I cannot, and Lisa can't see it either. I don't think she can hear you either.
And I can't see it either.
Okay. How did you guys log in? Did you go through the meet and confer on CCC Confer?
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm wondering what Somer did that we've done differently.
Well, it says on our screen that we need to exit this room, but we don't know how to exit the room.
Oh.
It says, you know, ready, exit this room, return to the CC conference homepage to connect to your class or meeting.
I know where you guys are.
It sounds like you're in a different room than I am.
Yeah, try and go back to the main CCC Confer page where you go to the webinars and select the Go on Randy's webinar and see if that takes you to the classroom where we are.
So I'm going to log out and then log back in.
We'll pause for a minute. Jason, are you also logging back in?
Yes, I am.
All right. Sorry we're having trouble. This thing never seems to fully work.
That's okay.
Sounds like there's a delay too.
Just a few seconds, yes.
No problem.
Okay, when I log in, I can see Lisa right now, and I still see the same screen which says, "Congratulations, your computer. Congratulations, your computer is ready to connect."
Okay, somehow Lisa, Julie, and probably Jason too are in a different room. So let's do this. Everybody, stay on the phone. Stay on the phone, and I don't know if Lisa can hear us, but go ahead and stay on the phone, and I'm just going to restart the whole video, that whole part of the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
So everybody just kind of stay on the phone, but log out of CCC Confer, and I'm just going to reboot. So about 3 minutes, okay?
Log out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna reboot the class.
Okay.
Sure.
I've never been to a conference.
Mm-hmm. All right, I have logged back in. It looks like Somer is still
I'm here.
logged in to the same. Okay. Okay, I'm sharing my desktop with you, so anybody who's in this room should be able to see my desktop.
And I can.
And that means you should see a Google screen right now. And I have not started recording yet. Silmer, can you see a Google homepage
Yes,
right
I
now?
can.
Summer, what did you do differently? Because I logged back in and I still see the congratulations
I
screen.
thought that I went on yesterday and made sure that my computer was doing this, and that's when I saw the congratulations screen. So when I shut down my computer last night and then turned it back on today, I opened up the application for the Blackboard Confer, and then went to the website and went to the webinar and clicked go, and it took me to this classroom.
Okay, maybe I should shut down and restart the computer and try it.
Yeah.
Because I still just see that congratulations. And I just logged out of it and logged back in it, but I still get that congratulations.
And so when you're
so the people who might want to check this out later can. So, and Julie, if you have a question, just holler out if you're having trouble still getting in.
Okay.
So let's see. Sure. Let me make sure that you can see all my screen. All right. So what we had done, just very quickly to recap, if we looked at how to create an SLO, a new SLO for your discipline or for your area. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I think it might be better with the limited time we have left to have you ask your questions about things that you want to do. But just as a quick reminder while you're thinking about what questions you might have, from the SLO and assessment page, you can choose Add CSLO here and add it directly to your SLO page. Once you add an SLO, you have lots of different options for things you can do with it. You can remove it, edit it for grammatical changes. Excuse me. There is a new versioning feature in eLumen that is very brand new, not quite sure what it does yet. Haven't had time to be trained on it. But you will notice what I think is really important. From here, you can both create an assessment for that SLO, and we can talk about that as one of our training items for today. And also from this screen, you can create performance descriptors, which are essentially rubrics. Rubrics that will be associated with that SLO, and that rubric would be used for all the different assessments, the assessment boxes that you create. Right. So at this point then, I'll just stop talking and again apologize for all the technical stuff and see if there are any special or specific training items you'd like me to walk through.
distributing an assessment.
Okay. So Jenna had mentioned distributing an assessment. That's something we can walk through. So why don't I start with that one? And reports. I see Somer asking about reports. So why don't we look at an assessment box, distribute that assessment box, and then we can look at how to generate reports. Okay. So probably better to start with courses and orgs in order to see what courses, what your, let me pause just for a second. Actually, when you're ready to do your assessment, then I suggest the best place to start is your SLOs and assessment tab. So that way you can see what SLOs are associated with which course. For example, in this case, we're going to decide which SLO we want to distribute. So if there is an assessment created, or if there isn't an assessment created, this is where you could create that assessment. And from this screen, you can also, after you've created that assessment, distribute it. If you already have your assessments created, then you can click on the Assessment tab, and that'll bring you to your assessment library by clicking on the middle tab. And then the filters allow you to drill down to which course you want to distribute SLO assessment box is for, and then even which SLO you'd like to distribute. And this, once you've drilled down in the assessment library to the specific SLO, the system shows you which SLO assessment boxes have been created for this SLO. This is why creating those SLO assessment boxes in your library, it's so important that you give some kind of an explanation as to the purpose of each of those assessment boxes. You can see here that these have been set up in different ways. The name of the assessment box may be useful or it may not. The description might be useful. The description may indicate that this assessment box has been created for a specific semester or for a specific course section. There are lots of ways to set up different assessment boxes. From this screen, I can choose the assessment box that I want to distribute. Highlight it by clicking on the checkbox and then click Distribute. From there, I can verify this is the course. This is the SLO that I want to gather data on. Here's the name of my course. And then I'm going to select the distribution. This is basically selecting when, where, who, how, all those questions. I'm going to choose the semester to distribute the assessment box to. I'm going to go in the past only because I know that I have not set up any course sections for fall 2015. So I'm going to go in the past and distribute to a past semester just so that there are classes in the system for that semester. Pretty sure they're spring 14. So then I can set a notification for the course coordinator if I want to, and this will open up the notification system. We'll talk about that in just a second. I can choose to send to all the sections of the course. Looks like there are no sections of this course. So I'm going to go back and go to fall 14. Hopefully there are sections. Yeah, looks like we have sections. So I'm going to click on all. But I can also edit which sections I would like this SLO assessment box distribution to go to. I'll walk through that again. So I can either choose all sections, or I can add section by section, simply by clicking from the available item side into the selected item side. Once I've selected the sections that I would like to distribute the SLO for, I'm going to click the Set Notifications for Faculty. You want both of these boxes to be blue. Then I'm going to either disable my notifications, meaning that there will be no reminder emails sent out, or I'm going to add a notification message. The SLO for eLumen 101 is now the SLO. Try to be as specific as you can. For 101 is now available. And there is much more information you could provide in this notification box. In past notifications, I've included the SLO that's being assessed. I've included information on the timeline, the due dates, etc., how to contact me so that I can answer questions. You can put as much information as you want here. In this box, you can indicate how many days before the beginning of the semester you want the notification to go out. If you want it to go out immediately, simply press 0. If you are setting up these assessments before the beginning of the semester, then you may decide that you want it to go out a week before the beginning of the semester, so you might choose 7 days. These are 7 calendar days, of course. However you'd like to do it. But there needs to be some kind of information in this field. So I'm going to set my notification to be sent the first day before the term. Obviously, in this example, the term has already begun. As a matter of fact, it's over. So it'll automatically send the notification immediately. The alert message box is when a message that will go to faculty telling them that the due date is coming up. So in this case, my message may read, the due date for putting in scores for eLumen 101 is coming up. Please put in scores. I can set the notification to be sent 14 days before the end of the term. Oh, I'm sorry, I can, right. And then I can send the alert 7 days before that due date. So if I decide that I want this SLO data put in 14 days before the end of the term, then the notification reminder, the alert message, will be sent 7 days before that 14-day period. So let me pause and see if there are any questions about that before I click Save. Or maybe anything I said might have been confusing. Or we actually have the due date for SLOs typically be the last day of the term. So typically this would be 0. And then the alert is the day that this reminder will go out. So you might get 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever. Okay. No questions. I'm going to click Save. This allows me to review what I've done, make sure that all of these things are what I want them to be. All sections are chosen. I have my term that I've chosen, who it's going to, that I'm going to distribute to. If I need to go back and change, I can click Modify Distribution, and then I'm ready to distribute. Now, once I click Distribute, any faculty member who is teaching that course during that semester that was chosen will receive an email notification. Right? Are there any questions about that? No. Okay. So I take the silence to mean no. All right, that's great. Okay. Then is there a question?
No.
Okay. All right, so then we'll move on to the question of reports. So running reports can be a little complicated because there are so many different types of reports. So before you get started, there are a couple things I would suggest doing. One of them is to go to our institutional our student learning outcomes page from the home page, just to show you where that is. Under faculty and staff from the Southwestern College page, we have student learning outcomes in the SLO website. So if you haven't bookmarked that already, please do. Under the video and how-to videos in eLumen directions, if you click on that, you'll find several different handouts and PowerPoints and I think maybe a video or two for how to do different things. And under the program coordinators, there is a how to run reports in eLumen, but there's also a list of available reports. This might be helpful for you when you're trying to figure out what report you want to run. So again, to show you where that is on our SLO website under videos and eLumen directions, along with many other documents, there is a how to run reports in eLumen. And then again, I clicked on the list of available reports. And this is the document. And assuming nothing's changed dramatically from when I created this about a year ago, it should all be the same. But I will go back to eLumen and we'll talk about running reports here. So I'm going to stay in the sample discipline as a department coordinator. And I'm going to click on reports. And this is what you see. As a data steward, you see something a little different, so that's why I wanted to come in as a department coordinator. You do have many options for the types of reports you can run. Depending on what you learned by looking at that the handout, or if you want to see maybe there is something more up to date, if you click on the Help button and put in reports over here in the search section, it'll show you what reports are exportable, and I'll give you a list. And if there have been new ones, then those would be explained here. Okay. And go back into eLumen then. So I've decided I want to look at the course statistics and evidence for the sample discipline. So I have lots of different fields here to fill out. The report title, there will be a generated title for you that's pretty self-explanatory. The report file name is just an identifier, and that's the name that will show up in your library. The report title is what will actually appear on the report, but the file name is how you see it in your document library. I'll go back just for a moment to point out that you do have a document library. Along beside the Available Reports tab. So going back to Available Reports, I'm going to click on Course Statistics and Evidence. Here I can choose where I want that report to be saved. You can create a new folder, or you can simply use the default, which is the document repository. Or you can just leave it as it is, because that was the default. I'm going to run my report on fall 14 because I know that there was some activity back then. But I'm going to throw the kitchen sink in there too. I'm going to choose, in this case, I'm going to choose a course group because I want to run a report on all of the courses within this particular program that I've created. Or I might simply choose the course. I am going to either choose to do a numerical report or a percent report. I'm going to choose count. Same question here. Do I want numbers or do I want percents? Do I want to include inactive information, courses and CSLOs? I'm going to say no. I'm going to leave this unchecked because I don't want to see SLO data that is for SLOs that are no longer active. I can filter again. Do I want to see assessments with scores? Yes. Do I want to see action plans with responses? Not right now. And I don't want to see RFIs right now either. Do I want to show the SLOs? Yes, I do. I want to see the CSLOs and what they're mapped to in terms of PSLOs and ISLOs. Here's some additional information. Again, only if you want this information included in your report should you check it. And then I can choose what my output is. Do I want it as an Excel file so that I can then manipulate and use the data later on? Do I want it as a Word file so I can work with it just as I would any other Word file? Or do I want it as a PDF for printing or maybe posting on a website? There is also the version that created in HTML if you're going to be posting on a website, but it depends on how you want to do that. The link that's generated, what this is about, the link duration. When you request a report and that report is ready, you will get an email giving you a link to go look at the report. And this time, the link duration tells you how long that link will be active. Because after an hour, that link will no longer work. And if you have not downloaded your document by then, then you'll have to run the report again. Or you can just simply make it a permanent link if you're doing HTML and PDF, etc. All right, I'm going to say generate my report. It's going to take me automatically back to my document library. And after and you'll see that the report is being queued and it's on its way. In just a moment, this will show up. Got a little nice new blue button, and it looks like my report is completed. So I can click on the box. I can't just open it like you would a file that you downloaded from the internet. You have to click the box and then download it, and then choose a place to download it to. And then once that's been downloaded, you can open it, and it'll show you the information, hopefully, that you've requested. In this case, looks like it's either taking, there was nothing in what I requested. So the report I ran is empty, and I don't know why. Yep, we love eLumen. So I'm just going to show you a sample report from another occasion. This one was on a, this is a PSLO report, and it shows this one was done in Excel. And it shows, in this case, we did a mapping report, an ISLO PSLO summary map, and it shows me which of our ISLOs the automotive technology course SLOs are mapped to. So that's one example of a different format, and these can be really useful when you download them in different formats so you can manipulate the information, work with the information. This one looks like that's also an Excel file. I'm going to go back out as a data steward because I think I have a lot more reports in my library as a steward. Yes. So these are some program SLO reports I've been working on. Let's see. I'm going to download this one. And this is a helpful one to know how to run if you want to take a look at the data that's been collected for PSLOs in any program. You can run this report. It's just a couple of pages, but it gives you the totals of all the different SLO data that's been generated. So just to slow down a little bit, you can see that this is the Exercise Science Activity Program. This is the date the report was run. This is the name of the program along with the major code and the certificate code. Right in here as well. It's repeated here. And this shows you the PSLO. It shows you the amount of data and where students are, how students are performing. And you see there's some totals at the end. You'll see here 61% of students assessed scored in the mastery category for this PSLO. It's good to look at head counts. You can see this is a little bigger here. 655 students were assessed, or rather 655 students were scored mastery. 1,065 students were assessed throughout all of these semesters. So that's just a couple of examples of reports, the process for running reports. I'm not exactly sure why the report we attempted to run came up blank. Again, as you can tell, when you run a report, there are a lot of different buttons to check. And it could be that sometimes the click of one button changes the entire way your report is run. There are in the archives for eLumen tutorials, eLumen webinars, there is one on running reports. So if you do have would like more information about that, let me know and I'll try and find the archive presentation for the eLumen webinar on reports. All right. What can we talk about next? We have about 10 minutes left. Everybody pretty good? We do have Jessica.
Can you show how to create an assessment box by disaggregating the data?
Ooh. Okay, so the question is creating an assessment box for an SLO that is a disaggregation of students by individual students. So in other words, how do you disaggregate SLOs? Well, you have to create an assessment box that will accept the data, right? I'm going to need to go into a live So we're going to go into a live, the reason why we're going to go into a live course is because I won't be able to create an assessment box if there are no students in the course. An assessment box that's disaggregated. So we can only create an assessment box and attach it to a course if it's disaggregated. If there are students in the course. Okay, so we're going to start by finding the we're going to find the SLO. We're going to drill down to the course we want to create the SLO for, and the course we're looking for is 120. We're looking for English 120, creative writing. Okay. Then that'll further drill down to which SLO I would like to create an assessment box for. I'm going to choose the first one. Okay. So you'll see my SLO here. There in the assessment library, there already is one, but we're going to add another one.
So I'm going to SLO and assessments tab, and you went to assessments tab again.
Let me go back from the assessments tab to assessment library, and then drill down to find the SLO in the course 120, and then course SLO this is the one I want to create for, and then I click Add Library Assignment. Okay. Here, I'm just going to create a bogus box. We're going to say that this is a summative assessment, outcomes oriented. Here's where the difference comes in. I'm going to make this a little bigger. So if you choose collective score entry, then you're creating an assessment box that can only accept aggregate scores. It can only accept the total number of students who achieved mastery, total number who achieved proficiency, etc. However, we want a rubric and a scorecard. So I'm going to click rubric and scorecard. I'm going to pick my 5-item scale, which is what we work with, and then I'm going to click Generate Rubric Template, and this is where I'm going to put in performance descriptors if I don't already have them. Ideally, the performance descriptors would be very fleshed out, very clear, based on what the faculty feel are the different levels for this SLO. But in this example, we're just going to make it a very generic performance descriptor. Right. Okay. I'm going to link my SLO, and here I have to drill down again to find it. 120. And analyze. Okay. So now I'm ready to save. And you'll see my test. Do you know who's teaching the class? Okay. All right, so we're going to distribute this to everybody. Disable notifications. Save it. I'm going to distribute it. So now I've just distributed this test assessment box to Jen Durillo, but I'm also going to go in and I'm going to put myself in her class so you can see what the assessment box will look like. All right, it'll take just a second. English is a big discipline. All right. So I'm going to go down to 120. There we go. I'm going to edit this course. Because I'm in as a data steward, I can assign myself as an evaluator. And I've done that. I'll log out real quick, log back in as a faculty member. And I should see the class now waiting for me. Right. And then I can click on the score, click on the assessment box, and you'll see that I have all the individual student names. Mm-hmm. It's a good question. It's a good question.
I see.
Yeah.
Got the student's name.
Okay. So then, there we go. Okay. So when you click switch to, so there are two different views here, and I'm trying to remember some of this. It's been a while since I looked at this. Over here on the right corner, you'll see a scorecard view icon. This just basically will show you the results once they're in. But if you want to click to the scorecard view, this is where you could indicate how the students scored, simply by checking the box. And you also have your not assessed column, indicate that these students were not assessed.
Delete that though now?
Okay. So, so that's how you would set up an assessment box that you can then distribute to a course. Okay, we're right about out of time, but again, I so apologize for the problems we had with the technology in the beginning. Are there other questions that you might want to ask? Maybe questions that aren't eLumen related or generally related to eLumen, but without a demonstration?
No.
That's good. That helped, especially with the reports.
Okay, good. And again, the reports can be really tricky. They can be tricky. Sometimes it's a matter of trial and error. You run a report, checking all the boxes to see what comes up. If it doesn't give you exactly what you want, you go back and run it again. You know, you're not burning paper. It's just all in the computer, but sometimes that's the way I've found I've had to do things. But also, if you know what report you want and you're having some trouble, just let me know, and between myself and Andre, we can figure out how to help you.
Thank you, Randy.
Again, I so apologize for the technology problems. I'm not sure what was going on. But if we do these webinars again, or I should say when, because if this is helpful, we need to try and get this right so we can use this tool, then we'll try and get it a little better off the ground next time.
Thank you, Randy.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.